Welcome to another episode of Automower Answers here on the Robotic Mower Services YouTube channel. And in this episode, we're going to do things slightly differently than we normally would do. Normally we'd have one topic that we would explain, that we've heard questions about over and over again. Well, now we're going to start doing this a little bit differently from time to time. We're going to dig into our mailbag, and we're going to answer the questions that were just asked to us recently by some of our customers or just random people that had questions and couldn't get their answers anywhere else. And you can ask your questions by sending an email to roboticmowerservices@gmail.com. You can ask questions through our website, www.roboticmowerservices.com, through our Facebook page at Robotic Mower Services, and you can also call us and leave a voicemail and whatever other ways of communication you have available where you can find Robotic Mower Services. And we always try to answer as many questions as we can. Some of them do get lost in the spam folders and junk mail and stuff like that, and we see them months and months later. But anyway, we'll get right into this here. This is a question we just got the other day. It's a customer who has a 430XH, and he was saying he had issues with it just pushing his grass over. The type of grass he has, it needs to be cut lower than the 430XH will go. So his question was, is there some type of conversion kit to go from a 430XH or a 450XH down to a 430X or 450X? So what was weird to us is the fact that we always get asked the opposite of this question. What do I got to do to go from a low cut to a high cut? So it was really bizarre to get one saying, what do I got to do to go from a high cut down to a low cut? And the answer is there's two main ways you can do this. The first one is you can buy all the parts to convert your XH down to an X, which would be a lower chassis, the top shell, the rear bumper. You would have to replace the magnet holder in the front because that's different based on the shells on the top of the mower. You would also have to replace your charging station tower, and it's not really all that feasible because it's going to cost you a couple $100 to do this and a lot of time, to swap everything around. And the other option is, if you can find it, Husqvarna makes something called a fairway kit. And I say if you can find it because there's two different ones, one for mowers made before 2020, one for mowers made after 2020. Majority of the mowers, the 400 series and 500 series, if not all of them here in North America at this moment, are 2019 or older. So that's the fairway kit that's been on back order seemingly forever. We have some on order. They're set to arrive, I believe, here right after the first of the year, right after the beginning of 2022. And we'll have them for sale, obviously, on our website, www.roboticmowerservices.com, if you're interested in one. But what this is it's a kit that they made for the regular low cut mowers. Your 430X, 450X, 550, your 520, and this kit changes some of the components on your cutting disc, and the minimum cutting height on a low cut mower is about 3/4 of an inch. So some places on golf courses, the grass has to be cut even lower than that. This kit lets you do that. It goes, I believe, down below 1/4 of an inch from what I remember. So if you have a high cut mower, your minimum cutting height is going to be about 1 3/4 inches because that mower sits an inch higher than a low cut mower. Now, if you put this kit on there, now you're going to be able to drop down to about 1.5 inches, maybe slightly lower than that. So that's going to be your easiest solution to try to cut your grass lower with a high cut mower. And the reason why it's so much easier is because you're only replacing those couple little components on your cutting system. And that whole kit is going to cost you, I think right now it's roughly around like $20 compared to a couple $100 to buy all those body parts and swap everything out to fully convert your mower from a high cut down to a low cut. So that's the way we recommend. If you think your grass just needs to be cut a little bit lower, buy the fairway kit, throw it on there, see if you get better results. If you don't, you're out like $20. So it's not a bad deal. We'd rather see you do that than spend a couple $100, convert your mower down to a low cut, and then be like, oh, well, that didn't work either. Maybe it needs to be cut a little bit higher again. So that's it there. Fairway kit, yeah, again, we should have them available here at the beginning of 2022. We'll put the part numbers for them in the description so you can find them a little bit easier. And we'll move on to our next question here. Speaking of converting things from high cuts to low cuts, we got the question of, is there some kind of a conversion kit available for the 300 series mowers to get them to cut higher? The answer for that right now is no. Not that I know of, not that anybody here knows of. And that's a question that I know has been out there ever since the high cuts for the 400 series high cuts and 500 series high cuts came out. I'll tell you what the 400 and 500 series high cuts, we offer that high cut conversion kit. And we did that as a way to try to help people out who had bought mowers and were being told, hey, if you want a high cut mower, all you can do is just unload your mower you have now and go out and buy a new one that's a high cut. And we wanted to be able to help people out with that. And we did the best we could to keep the price down on that. The prices have just been going up like crazy on those parts. And when those parts go up on your end, the consumer's end, they also go up on our end. And like I said, we've done everything we can to keep everything bundled in a kit and keep it as cheap as possible to help all you guys out that, are looking to convert your older mower or your low cut mower into a high cut. And that's just not available with the 300 series. I mean, there's no factory parts to be able to do that as of right now. There's a few things that we're currently looking into that we've been dabbling around with actually here in the past couple of weeks for some stuff that we've got going on of our own. And if anything comes to that, of course, you guys will know right away. We'll get that out there to you, that information out there. But as of right now, there is no way to really raise your 310, your 315, your 315X to the cutting height of a high cut, say a 450XH or a 430XH. There's little things here and there that people have done to squeeze like another half an inch out of them or a quarter inch out of them, but they haven't been too practical and nothing that anybody's been able to get to work consistently or go on to market with. So that's why I'm still going to say no. There's nothing out there right now. So hopefully that answers that question for all of you that have been wondering about that. Next question. I need to reinstall my boundary wire in the spring. My wire is in bad shape, a lot of corrosion. Do I need to remove the old wire? This is a good question. And here's the way I look at it. I'm guessing if your old wire is corroded and breaking apart, it was probably the green-coated wire from Husqvarna. If you're replacing that wire now, you're probably using the black heavy-duty wire from Husqvarna, maybe the black UV wire, maybe even the orange, double-layered or double-insulated wire, or maybe you're buying some Mower wire or something like that. Either way, my point is, you're probably not putting a green wire back down in the ground. So if you're using a completely different color wire, it's a completely different color insulation, then you really don't have to pull that old wire out of there. The issue with leaving the old wire in is if you have green wire in there and you're putting green wire back in and you have a break, you don't know which one's your good wire and which one's your bad wire. Maybe if you use the old, skinny, real thin green wire, and now you're going to HD or the old HD wire that was green, maybe then you would notice because of the thickness of the insulation. But for the most part, I try to use different colors of wire because it just gets too confusing when you go out there to look for a break. We have some sites where the wire has been patched up, it's been replaced, it's been hit by people doing aeration and stuff like that, and multiple people have been out there patching and splicing, and now we go out there and it's like, which wire is which? And you end up just chasing your tail, and it takes way longer, and it's just as easy to throw down a different color of wire, and That way, if you're the person taking care of it from there on out, you know which is your wire and you know which is the old wire. So that's our suggestion for anything to do with replacing wire. And you want to make sure too, if you go and say you put down black wire, you're edging a flower bed, you cut that black wire, you have to splice it, you don't want to say, oh, well, here's some green wire I got laying around. Let me splice that into my black wire, because now you've just ruined that where you knew which wire was good and which one was bad, because now you spliced in a piece of wire from the previous installation, and before long you won't know what's what anymore if you have another break. So that's our suggestion there. So those were 3 quick questions we wanted to answer in this episode here. I didn't want to take up too much time with this episode because I know everybody's busy. We're going to the holiday season. Everybody's got stuff to do. But again, if you have questions you would like to hear answered on here, or you just need an answer for a period, make sure to send us an email, roboticmowerservices@gmail.com. You can reach us through our Facebook page, or you can go on to our website, www.roboticmowerservices.com, and you can send us a message through there, ask us your questions. I'll be honest with you, email and the website are the main 2 ways to get a hold of us. If you got a question like that, if it's something you don't need answered right away, then definitely the website would be the best bet. Email will be right after that, because every now and then if you got a funky email, it'll send it to a spam folder or junk folder, and it takes us months till we find it. But those are the options there. And of course you can also leave a question in the comment section for any of these videos that you're watching. And speaking of watching these videos, make sure to subscribe to this channel so you don't miss out on any future videos we got coming up. That's going to do it for this episode. Thanks for watching.